My name is Rebecca Johnson, and I love Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And I am publishing a series of videos exploring the reasons why I am such a fan of Zack Snyder's film. In this series, you'll find my thoughts on topics that matter to me, like Larry Fong's cinematography, character analysis on Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, the Christian imagery, what I find hopeful about the movie, and yes, I'll address the critical reception. So if you're interested in any of those topics, I hope you will get something out of this series and find out why Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice has had such a profound, heartfelt, and inspiring impact on my life. One of the things I love about storytelling is a good villain. In fact, I think in order to have a good hero story, you need a good villain. But I don't think Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is a good villain. I think he's a great one. Who is Lex Luthor? He's a businessman, a philosopher, an historian.
Belonged to Alexander the Great, a brilliant tactician. Alexander's strategy was simple. Always seize the high ground.
A mad scientist, a criminal mastermind.
This is how it ends for the greatest criminal mind of our time.
Who hates Superman, dabbles in politics, verbally spars with Lois Lane.
Forgive the indelicacy, Lois, but you look terrible.
There's breaking news.
Has red hair but eventually goes bald, and sometimes commits patricide. And who is Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor? He's a businessman.
Would you step into my office?
A philosopher.
The problem of evil in the world.
An historian.
1 if by land, 2 if by air.
A mad scientist. Criminal mastermind who hates Superman, dabbles in politics, verbally spars with Lois Lane, has red hair but eventually goes bald, and has daddy issues.
No man in the sky intervened when I was a boy to deliver me from daddy's fist and abominations.
As a villain, Lex Luthor is the scariest kind of diabolical. He's the kind of bad guy who publicly comes across as a benevolent contributor to society, when in private, he's slowly descending into madness. He seems fun and jovial at a party with his guests, but he fumbles his speech about wanting power.
Books are knowledge, and knowledge is power. And I am... No, what am I? What was I saying? No. The bittersweet pain among men is having knowledge with no power.
He meets with senators to protect the globe, but turns their words on them with clever yet disgusting callbacks. He cares nothing for the lives of other people, which makes his plan so disturbing. He uses a handicapped man to detonate a bomb inside an important building in American history, which kills not only innocent people, but his own assistant because she knew too much and was a liability to him. He's smart enough to figure out superhero identities and uses them to manipulate Bruce Wayne into killing Superman and kidnaps the ladies in Superman's life just to manipulate him into killing Batman.
Martha.
He's that kind of villain who monologues about the problem of evil.
I figured out way back. If God is all-powerful, he cannot be all good. And if he is all good, then he cannot be all-powerful.
And then gives an even greater evil a Kryptonian phone call.
Ding, 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 ding.
When it comes to Lex Luthor's musical theme, I think even that is menacing and character correct. When I first heard the musical track, The Red Capes Are Coming, it sounded familiar, but I couldn't quite place the classical musical period. So I contacted one of my friends who studies and teaches music, and she told me that to her, it sounded like Mozart's Requiem in D minor. Turns out, I wasn't familiar with that at all. So I started listening to it and doing a little research. Not only does Lex's theme sound kinda like a requiem, I think it's intentionally like a requiem. Requiems or requiem masses are also known as a mass for or of the dead. They are associated with funerals, dying, death, and mourning. How fitting, then, to have Lex Luthor's musical theme be about death when he is the orchestrator behind the killing of Superman. Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is now one of my all-time favorite cinematic villains. He's a character who hates God while literally holding the world in his hands. And I think the most daring aspect of Lex Luthor's portrayal in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is that he's written to succeed. He wants Superman dead, and by the end of the movie, he is.
Now God is good as dead.
Or is he?